Okay, so here we are first thing in the morning. We got off the gigantic tarp. I've got a plan for shuffling some people around. Looks like a little bit of water got underneath here. You can see places where it has run down somehow.
Yeah, well, they feed them snakes.
But overall, not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, we can still see footprints from the other day, so whatever water got in there was pretty insignificant. We're going to start work on feature 11, which is hiding underneath that board. Feature 12 here is next to go. Unit 12, this is going to continue to come down. And we're going to continue to work over there on the wall. Duvall, do you need a hand? You need a hand with anything? We are going to remove the landscape fabric over the location of feature 11. So they're cleaned up the last of the back dirt. JJ and Ella. And then I'm just going to cut it out, I think, because it goes back behind this chipboard that is still protecting the walls, which I would like to leave on the walls because we've already profiled them, so we don't need to see them. And then I don't need to replace that chipboard. It can stay there till next season. So anyway, I'm going to cut out a big piece of that, and we'll see what the feature looks like. This is where Unit 6 halted last year, so we removed the landscape fabric to finally get at and deal with feature 11. A lot of worm tunnels and other minor damage down there, so Ella and JJ are doing a scrape to produce a clean surface so we can define the feature and come up with a plan. Every move is being documented by my hillbilly camera setup. Okay. Had to tell JJ to censor himself for a moment. Alright, so we are cleaning up Unit... Man, boy, my brain is sick. I remember, I have to count them all the time. Unit 6, there you go. So, feature 11 is not spectacular by any means, but it's definitely there. It's this darker soil, and it's defined both by color difference and also really by the lack of a whole lot of material in it in terms of rock. There are flecks of charcoal in it, and that sort of thing. So we're getting that cleaned up. You can see these worm tunnels there that were underneath the landscape fabric. So right there is JJ scraping one away. All the pink flags are new artifacts that are popping up as we do this cleaning. So after everything gets cleaned up, the next step is to take a photograph while it looks as nice as it's going to look. And then we will draw it and figure out a strategy for cross-sectioning it. And there we go. There's our little friend. I don't know where he came from, but there's got to be someplace warmer for you.
It's not moving either.
Oh, now he's in somebody's hat. Is that yours, JJ?
Yeah, that's mine. He's
okay,
mine.
yeah. All right, we got the afternoon shift going here. The excavation of feature 11 is beginning. It is defined by some dark soil with charcoal in it, as well as kind of a spatial gap in where things are showing up in the floor, and that's because it would have intruded into those older deposits. So we're going to bisect it. So they are working now, you know, and there's also going to be a section that we're going to need to remove in order to see the profile. That's going to be the next level of Unit 6 going down. So it starts to get a little bit complicated. So there's a lot of paperwork and other things to make sure that we know what we're doing. So we will probably not get finished with that today, but we will start taking that feature out. Unit 3, so they had taken down the west half down to the top of the second plow zone. We just went ahead and took off the chipboard and the landscape fabric covering that east half where we'd had a wall collapse there last year. We were attempting to use it as a step. It was just too fragile. So anyway, that ugliness is going to go away. By the end of the day today, Sam is going to have this thing looking like...
As nice as Unit 5.
As nice as Unit 5, maybe even nicer. So anyway, I'm hoping to get Zone 2 out of there, and then we will know if there's anything beneath it to deal with, whether there's more big rocks or features or what have you. So hopefully we will know something about that soon. We got bees. The spring peepers are peeping. Unit 13, they have removed the dips from plowing, so they hollowed out the plow scars. So we're going to level this off at just a couple centimeters below the lowest depth of the plow scars just to get through that transition zone and make sure we're into the good stuff. They're going to move their screen down to the downstairs because it's just as easy to get dirt down as it is to get up, probably easier now. So, and then we will start with level 3, and level 3 is going to terminate at 95 centimeters below datum, which should still put us above that feature, but not much. So we are getting there. And as I've been threatening for several days now, I finally laid out another unit here, which would be unit 14. Right now it's laid out as a 1 meter by 1.5 over this nail. I'm not sure what going the extra 50 centimeters gets us. The wall's really irregular, but feature 4 is down there. If I lean over the edge here, you can look down and see these pieces of fire-cracked rock that are sticking out of the wall. That kind of define the base of feature 4. So as this one slows down, when we get down to that feature, which is going to be tough to see, I think it's hard to see in the wall. I'm not sure how well it's going to define itself in plan or not. But we'll deal with that one, and then we're going to start dealing with this one too.
Hello.
The smart play here seemed to be to not start excavating the feature given where we are in the day, so they're going to do a little bit more piece plotting around it to kind of clear the way. The issue was if we started, we wouldn't have time to finish. We'd end up with a divot in the floor that if we got a lot of water, could very well just put too much pressure on it and collapse it. These things are just really delicate, so it seemed easier to just kind of work at this elevation. We can take those pins out. We haven't used that level line yet, and then we can put them right back in and reestablish our line, and then do the bisection, the excavation next time, which hopefully will be next Friday, weather permitting. This is moving along, that's moving along. Everybody's smiling, everybody's happy. Well, we are at the end of the day here. This is Unit 3. What was this? We called it Level 3. Getting down to the base of Zone 2, and other than some roots, the biggest thing that showed up was this. I'm pretty sure it's in context because there's only orange soil around it. There aren't any obvious plow scars that it's going in. So it moved on its own, so I was allowed to take it out. But I believe that is another chipstone tool. This edge didn't look like much, but I think that's a bit. And maybe that's, there are flakes out there, there, to facilitate hafting. That end could be broken off, like we might find that end. That would be kind of neat. But without having cleaned it up, I think that that's what that is. There's where it goes.